Some days, life feels like a whirlwind of stress, anxiety, and worries, leaving you longing for an escape but unsure where to start. In the fast pace of modern living, finding a moment of peace for your soul can seem nearly impossible. But sometimes, the answer is simpler than you think. A single, well-timed quote can shift your perspective and help you realize that life doesn't have to be so heavy. These are not empty words or distant philosophies, they are profound, relatable insights that can illuminate even your darkest days, guiding you toward calmness and serenity. In this video, we'll explore 5 meaningful quotes words that can help ease your worries and allow you to approach life with a lighter heart. These aren't just pieces of advice, but tools to help you heal your mind, restore balance, and rediscover happiness within yourself. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I encourage you to do so now, so you won't miss out on meaningful content designed to bring peace and joy to your soul. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with our latest videos. Let's embark on this journey together and embrace the beauty and peace that lie ahead. The first quote: what's in the past, leave it in the past. Have you ever felt trapped in old memories, lingering regrets, or wounds that still sting? It could be a mistake you can't forgive yourself for, a broken relationship, or a missed opportunity that you just can't let go of. These memories, whether beautiful or painful, are like an invisible backpack you carry, slowing your steps and leaving you exhausted. But ask yourself, does holding on to the past help you move forward, or does it hold you back? What's done is done. Let it go is not just a piece of advice, it's an art of living, a key to unlocking the door to peace and freedom. The past, whether joyful or sorrowful, is unchangeable. What you can control is how you choose to perceive and grow from it. Think about the times you've blamed yourself or resented someone else for something in the past. Did those feelings ever bring you relief, or did they only add to your pain? View it as a lesson. Like trees in autumn shedding their old leaves to prepare for the new buds of spring, you need to release what no longer serves you to make space for growth and renewal. Once 2 monks were returning to their monastery after a long journey. Along the way, they encountered a wide river and a young woman struggling to cross the swift currents. Without hesitation, the younger monk offered to carry her across. After reaching the other side, she thanked him and went on her way. The older monk, however, was visibly upset and finally said, "We are monks. How could you carry a woman like that? It's against our principles." The younger monk smiled and replied, "I left her at the riverbank long ago, but it seems you're still carrying her." This story reminds us that the burdens we choose to carry in our minds often cause unnecessary suffering. Letting go isn't about forgetting. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of what no longer serves you. Ask yourself, are you carrying an invisible backpack of past regrets? Is it a mistake you can't forgive, or words that hurt you? If so, maybe it's time to set it down. The past is not a place to dwell, it's a teacher, offering lessons to help you move forward. Life is like a river, always flowing forward. If you keep looking back at the drops of water that have passed, you'll miss the beauty of the current flowing before you. When you learn to let go, you'll realize that freedom isn't some far-off destination. It begins the moment you decide to leave the past behind. Right now, think about something from your past that has been causing you pain or regret. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and tell yourself, what's done is done. Let it go. Share with us, what have you chosen to let go of today? Let's walk forward together, lighter and more open to the joys and opportunities that lie ahead. The second quote: don't worry about what you can't control. In life, not everything is within your control. The weather, other people's thoughts, or unexpected events, these are all beyond your ability to change, no matter how hard you try. Yet, ironically, it's often these uncontrollable things that become the root of our worries and stress. Don't worry about what you can't control isn't just a piece of advice, it's a powerful reminder. Instead of exhausting yourself over the unchangeable, focus on what is within your grasp, because only then can you truly find peace. Worry is a natural human response, born from a desire to protect ourselves from the unexpected. But when you let it take over, it drains your mental health and blinds you to the opportunities for positive change. Think back to a time when you felt helpless. Maybe a job didn't go as planned, or a relationship started to drift apart. Did worrying solve the problem, or did it only leave you feeling more tired? Once upon a time, There was a king who lived in constant fear. He worried that his kingdom would be invaded, that his advisors would betray him, and that his people would turn against him. In desperation, he sought advice from a wise sage. The sage listened and asked, "Your Majesty, can you control whether an enemy decides to invade your kingdom?" The king replied, "No, I cannot." "And can you control the thoughts of your advisors?" The king shook his head. "No, I cannot." The sage smiled and said, "If you cannot control those things, why not focus on what you can? Rule your kingdom with fairness, treat your advisors with sincerity, and care for the well-being of your people. When you do what is right, those fears will lose their power." The king nodded, and from that day forward, he focused on being a just and wise ruler, instead of worrying about what he could not change. This story reminds us that accepting our limits and focusing on what we can control frees our minds from unnecessary worry. Use your energy and time to improve what truly matters: your health, your relationships, and how you respond to challenges. Picture yourself driving through a storm. You can't control the rain, but you can control how you drive, slowing down, turning on your headlights, and keeping a safe distance. Life is the same. You can't change every event, but you always have the power to decide how you face them. Your attitude is the steering wheel that guides you through life's rough roads. Don't worry about what you can't control isn't about indifference or giving up. It's a reminder to focus on what truly matters. Instead of letting your mind dwell on what cannot be changed, dedicate your time and energy to what you can do right now, taking care of your health, improving yourself, and cherishing the people you love. Ask yourself, what's worrying you the most right now? Is it something beyond your control? If so, try letting it go. Take a deep breath, relax your mind, and focus on what you can do in this moment. Life is too short to waste on things you cannot change. Only when you stop worrying about the uncontrollable can you truly find the joy and peace you deserve. The third quote, every day is a fresh start. Every day is a fresh start. Think of the sun. No matter how cloudy today might be, the sun will rise again tomorrow. This is the natural rhythm of life, and it's also a reminder of how life itself works. Every morning offers you a chance to make things better, to fix what's unfinished, and to write a new chapter in your story. Yet so often we let the past hold us back, forgetting that today is completely unbound by what happened yesterday. Here's a story to reflect on. David was a successful businessman who had worked tirelessly to build his company. Over the years, he gained respect and admiration from friends and family. But one day, due to poor decisions and market changes, he lost nearly everything. His wealth disappeared, his company went bankrupt, and his friends gradually distanced themselves. David sank into despair, blaming himself and feeling like his life was over. One morning, while wandering along the beach, David noticed children building sandcastles. They were laughing and carefully crafting each wall. Then, a large wave crashed in, washing the sandcastles away. David expected the kids to cry or get upset, but they didn't. Instead, they laughed, looked at each other, and started building again, this time, creating even better sandcastles. That moment was an awakening for David. He realized that life is much like building sandcastles. Waves may come and wash away your efforts, but you can always start over. No failure is permanent unless you refuse to try again. David returned home, determined not to let his past define his future. He began learning from his mistakes, starting small, and gradually rebuilding his career. Though the path ahead was challenging, he embraced each day as a new opportunity to move forward. This idea connects beautifully with John Locke's concept of tabula rasa, or the blank slate. Locke believed that people are born as blank slates, and their experiences shape their stories. But the beauty of life is that each day also serves as a blank slate. You have the power to wipe away the smudges of yesterday and begin again with something better. This mindset reminds us that no one is trapped by their past. Every morning is a chance to redefine who you are. You see this reflected in modern culture, where many success stories arise from failure. Think of Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption. Despite being wrongfully imprisoned, Andy didn't let his circumstances crush his hope. Each day he worked toward his freedom, slowly carving out a path over many years. His journey is a testament to how even the smallest daily actions can lead to monumental outcomes. From these stories, the practical takeaway is to focus on short-term goals to keep your spirits up. Don't overthink the long term. Instead, concentrate on what you can do today. Set small, achievable goals, spend time with loved ones, or even just smile at yourself in the mirror. Allow yourself the grace to start over, and don't beat yourself up for imperfections. Mistakes are just part of the journey, not the end point. Every day is a fresh start isn't just a motivational phrase, it's a way of life. Don't let past failures or disappointments define you. Remember, today is your chance to make a difference, and tomorrow will offer you yet another blank slate. Your job is simply to show up and fill it with hope and purpose. The fourth quote, happiness comes from knowing when enough is enough. In today's world, we're often caught in an endless cycle of greed and comparison. You see someone with a better job, a bigger house, or what seems like a happier life, and it's easy to feel dissatisfied with what you have. But does chasing after more truly lead to happiness, or does it just leave you feeling more anxious and exhausted? Happiness comes from knowing when enough is a reminder that sometimes to feel content, you don't need more, you just need to appreciate what you already have. Greed doesn't only show up in the desire for more material possessions, it also thrives in the constant act of comparing yourself to others. But life isn't a race. When you're too busy looking at what others have, you miss the beauty in your own life. Knowing when enough is enough doesn't mean giving up ambition or effort, it means valuing what you already have, instead of obsessing over what you don't. True happiness is found in embracing life's simple yet meaningful pleasures. A delicious meal, a quiet morning, or the presence of loved ones. This idea has long been echoed in Western philosophy. Epicurus, an ancient Greek philosopher, emphasized that happiness isn't about acquiring more but about enjoying life's small, everyday joys. He believed that true contentment comes from fulfilling basic human needs: friendship, freedom, and time to reflect. According to Epicurus, when you know how to appreciate enough, you free yourself from the endless pursuit of luxury or excess. This philosophy remains deeply relevant today, particularly in the minimalist movement. In a world filled with advertisements and societal pressure to consume more, many people are returning to simpler living. They've discovered that owning less not only reduces stress but also allows them to focus on their inner values. Minimalism isn't just about decluttering your home. It's about decluttering your mind, eliminating unnecessary distractions to fully appreciate what truly matters. To genuinely experience happiness from knowing when enough is enough, you can take practical steps. One of the most effective methods is practicing gratitude. Each day, take a few minutes to list things you're thankful for. It could be your health, a kind friend, or even today's beautiful weather. This practice helps you focus on the positives in your life and reminds you that there's already so much to cherish. Additionally, try reducing your focus on material possessions and instead invest in spiritual and emotional growth. Ask yourself, are the things you're chasing truly bringing you happiness, or are they just feeding your ego or comparisons with others? Instead of striving for unnecessary goals, dedicate time to your family, friends, and yourself. These are the things that create lasting joy. Happiness comes from knowing when enough isn't about telling you to stop striving, but urging you to pause and recognize the value of what you already have. Sometimes what you need isn't more, it's a new perspective on what you possess. So, stop comparing, take a moment to reflect, and you'll see that happiness is already here, hidden in the simplicity of your life. The fifth quote, knowing when to stop is also a success. In life, we're often taught to never give up, to keep pushing no matter what. But the truth is, not everything is worth seeing through to the very end. Sometimes stopping, letting go, or choosing to walk away from something isn't failure, it's a sign of maturity and wisdom. Knowing when to stop is also a success reminds us that success isn't just about achieving goals, but also about recognizing the right time to protect yourself and focus on what truly matters. Failing to stop at the right moment can lead to significant consequences. Pushing past your limits or clinging to goals that no longer serve you can harm you physically and emotionally. It could be a relationship where love has faded, a job that drains you, or a dream you've realized doesn't align with who you are anymore. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on everything, it means choosing to focus on what's truly worth pursuing. Pragmatism, a philosophy rooted in practicality, emphasizes focusing on what brings real value instead of chasing unrealistic goals. This approach encourages asking yourself, does this truly add meaning or value to my life? If the answer is no, stopping isn't a failure, it's a wise decision. Pragmatism values adaptability over persistence, highlighting the importance of making choices that align with your current reality. Take the story of Jack, a talented engineer with big dreams. Jack had always wanted to start his own tech company to bring his innovative ideas to life. After years of saving and gaining experience, he quit his job and launched his startup. Things started off well. He built a passionate team, gained interest from investors, and launched his first product. Jack believed he was on the path to success. But challenges soon arose. The product didn't generate the expected revenue, investments were delayed, and financial pressures mounted. Jack worked tirelessly, hoping things would improve. But the more he pushed, the more exhausted he became. He drifted away from his family and friends, pouring everything into a business that no longer inspired him. Deep down, Jack realized the company had become more of a burden than a passion, but he didn't know how to let go. One day, Jack attended a seminar on work-life balance. During the session, the speaker said something that struck a chord. Sometimes, letting go isn't failure, it's an opportunity to pursue something better suited for you. Jack began reflecting on why he was pushing so hard. Was he continuing for the right reasons, or was he afraid of looking like a failure? After much thought, Jack made the difficult decision to let go. He sold his company to a larger competitor, paid off his debts, and took time to rest and regain balance. Initially, he felt disappointed about stepping away from his dream, but over time, he realized it was the right choice. Jack reconnected with his family, explored new skills, and found a stable job with less pressure. Most importantly, he rediscovered joy in life's small, everyday moments. Jack's story shows that knowing when to stop doesn't mean giving up, it means making room for a better path forward. Success isn't about achieving everything you set out to do. It's about understanding what aligns with your values and having the courage to let go when necessary. Jack's decision not only saved him from burnout, but also opened a new chapter of peace and happiness in his life. From this, the lesson is clear. Always ask yourself, why am I pursuing this? If the reason no longer resonates, or if continuing is causing you harm, stopping isn't failure, it's bravery. Learning to set limits and let go when needed is a vital life skill. Don't let pride or societal expectations push you toward goals that no longer fit who you are. Knowing when to stop is also a success. Isn't just a quote, it's a way of life. It requires self-awareness and the strength to walk away from what no longer serves you. Remember, success isn't about having everything. It's about focusing on what truly matters. Stopping at the right time doesn't mean you failed, it means you've given yourself the chance to open a new door, one that leads to genuine peace and happiness. Life isn't always smooth. Sometimes challenges and worries can leave you feeling drained and lost. But remember, simple phrases like let the past rest or knowing when to stop is also a success are not just reminders, they are profound life philosophies. They help you realize that true happiness, peace, and success are always within your reach if you embrace and live authentically. You don't need to solve every problem in a single day or achieve every goal on your first attempt. Think of each day as a new beginning, a chance to repair, learn, and grow. The most important thing is to focus on what you can control, be grateful for what you have, and let go of what no longer serves you. Sometimes simply knowing when to pause, love yourself, and accept the present moment is the greatest success of all. A peaceful soul. These sayings are not just meant to be read, they're meant to be lived. Try applying them to the small moments of your everyday life. You'll find that meaningful change doesn't come from grand gestures, but from small, purposeful actions. Cherish what you have, accept what you cannot change, and always remember that you deserve a life filled with peace and happiness. Life is always open and waiting for you, and if you're willing to take the next step, the best things are yet to come. If these reflections have helped you find peace or a fresh perspective, don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments below. Share your story, your insights, or the valuable lessons you've learned from your own life. I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button today. Not only will it make it easier for you to follow more meaningful content, but it's also a way for us to spread positive values to even more people. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss any new posts. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Wishing you peace and happiness on your journey.